This is the Hog Central Podcast, sponsored by the Landers Auto Group. And now, here's your host, Steve Sullivan.
Welcome to the first Hog Central Podcast of the new year. It's a pleasure to be alongside the walk-on wonder from Wabaseka, Arkansas, Ernie Murry, and Mr. Hog Basketball, Matt Zimmerman, better known as Coach Z. Let's start with the Naismith Player of the Week, everybody's favorite Hog, Darius Acuff, and usually stats, all stats for teams and players kind of tail off when you get to conference play as you go out through the season. Hey, Acuffs are going through the roof. He's now shooting 50% from the floor, 42% from three-point range. Those are both season highs for him.
I really like Darius Acuff. He is the best point guard that's been at Arkansas. I'm going to say it again. Since Lee Mayberry. Lee Mayberry and Darius Acuff can affect the game in so many areas. What I like about him is he gets downhill. He gets to the basket. When he does a little hop, the next thing you know, he's going to pull a three. If I was guarding him, I'd make him go left.
Z?
He can go left, baby. He can go left, and he can scoop it, or he'll get back and go right, or he'll spin on you when he goes left. But I like that, Ernie. And, of course, you played with the great Lee Mayberry here with the Razorbacks, and he is very comparable to Lee. They're a little bit different kind of players, but he probably has more of a – now, Lee ended up being a third all-time leading scorer here, but he shoots it so well, and he's got the pull-up, but he can get to the basket. He can get to the free throw line. He makes his foul shots. What a great player. And to win the Player of the Week, Freshman Player of the Week, 4 straight weeks in the SEC is incredible. And I think the only person capable, the league is not loaded with great freshmen like him. And I think the only one that maybe can take Freshman of the Week from him one time might be his teammate, Malik Thomas.
You played with Lee Mayberry. One thing Rick Barnes loved about Darius Acuff, his demeanor. It never changes. What was it like playing with Lee?
Lee never showed no emotion. If you go back and watch his highlight, he never showed. If he got a three and got fouled, there was no emotion. I guarded him every day in practice. Probably the toughest player to guard. I mean, just a silent killer. And Acuff has that a little bit, but he showed a little emotion the other day, and I like that. He got tired. Cal took him out at a great time. He come back in, and guess what? He has fresh legs to finish the basketball game. But, I'm going to tell you where that game was won. That game was won at the free throw line. If Tennessee makes their free throws, it's a different ball game. I mean, we were 29 of 33. They shot 52%. We shot 88%. That's the ball game.
This team does everything well. We talked about that on our KATV podcast, that they don't have, and you mentioned one little weakness, or it could be a big one come tournament time. Really won't hurt them in the SEC, but they're pretty solid all around. Coach Z?
Great all-around team. It's hard to come up with a weakness for Arkansas. They can shoot it. They can drive it. You got 8 guys. All are capable of having big games, Sully. You've got a lot of talent. You got length. You got athletic ability. You got speed. You got quickness. There's really no weaknesses. The only thing we hadn't done great, the 3 or 4 games where we've played a JT Toppin. There's just not very many JT Toppins playing. The SEC really doesn't have any. Cameron Boozer, arguably the best player in the country, or one of. There was a couple of the bye games we played that had pretty good low post guys like Winthrop that hurt us and scored on the inside some. So that's going to be important in the NCAA tournament. If we run across somebody like a Texas Tech that's got a low post guy that can score inside, that's the only small weakness we have shown so far this season. And I think our bigs will continue to get better, and they'll guard that better than they did in those early season games.
What did they do in the second half differently? It was very easy inside in the first half for Tennessee's bigs. I think they were combined 8 of 11. And Malik Euan was a different player in the second half. He affected them inside.
Well, I think Cal got on him about just standing behind the guy. Fight over the top of him. Make it hard. Don't make the entry pass so easy. And I think the bigs for Tennessee was looking for him. And as a couple of times, he deflected the ball. We get a steal. We get a layup. We made adjustments at halftime. I just don't think Tennessee could make an adjustment because we were playing so well. And we got to give Coach Cal credit. The schedule he played has prepared him to play in the SEC. I really think the schedules helped this basketball team. The games we lost were close games. and they were against very, very good basketball teams.
Yeah, and one thing we started doing, we started jumping. We started using that 6'11" athletic ability that these three guys got, all 6'10", 6'11". We blocked 10 shots. You know, in the first half, that number 23 for them has gotten those inside buckets that you're talking about, Carey. And in the second half, we blocked 4 of Carey's shots. Carey quit scoring. Carey was not a
Yeah, that'll discourage you from shooting.
Yeah, when you're getting your shot tattooed. You know, they had a freshman. Now, they had an important injury for them, Cade Phillips, kid that played for them last year, and he's out for the season. He's hurt. They always have a guy out for the year because I think they practice real physical. And last year it was J.P. Estrella was out for a year. This year it's Cade Phillips. So since Phillips is gone, they've been having to play this Dwayne Brown, who's a freshman, probably going to be a good player in our conference. But he went up with it 7 times, and we blocked 4 of them.
Oh, man.
And so when you're blocking those kind of shots, and that's just blocks, 10 blocks. I bet we changed another 7 or 8 more shots. That's almost 20 shots that they took that we impacted with our size and our length. And even DJ Wagner, he blocked 2 shots. Darius Acuff blocked a shot. It was a block party in Bud Walton Arena.
Hey, and one thing I love about this team, and you saw it early in the game against Tennessee, you don't see many droughts. And if they do get behind, they get behind 7-zip and snap your fingers. He called a timeout. About a minute later, it was 9-9.
Well, you know, this is a team that has so many weapons that you don't have to just depend on one guy. And call the timeout and get the ball to Acuff. And
Yeah,
I think he scored the next 5.
Yeah, he scored like 7 of the 9.
Yes. So, I mean, this team can go as far as they want to go. I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago. This team has all the makings of a great, great basketball team. The only person that can beat them is themselves. I think this team can go a long way. The key is going to be if Acuff, Malik Thomas, and those guys, Carter Knox is coming on, if those guys can just stay healthy, this basketball team can be fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, we've got so much talent. Hopefully there are no injuries. We've not had any. That's been great. But if you had one, this team's got so much depth, you could still be a phenomenal team with one last night. You don't want to lose Darius Acuff. Can't lose him.
No, you got to have.
Can't lose him.
He's a difference maker.
Can't lose him.
Right.
Can't lose him. But, you know, you feel like you've got a little security in case maybe it's not even an injury. Maybe it's foul trouble where Billy, like the other day, or DJ, or one of your key guys is in foul trouble. You can still be great because you got so much talent around them. What I like for this team, Lee, Ernie, and I'm thinking about Lee Mayberry.
That's my buddy. That's okay.
That 1990 team that went to the Final Four, one of the most talented teams in school history, 36 wins, 4 losses, won the conference tournament, made the Final Four, was that there was not pressure on Todd because we had a lot of players. Todd didn't play that great, we were still going to have a chance to win.
Exactly
if Big
right.
O didn't play great, we were still going to probably win. If Mario Credit or Lindsey Howe didn't play great,
Correct.
we're still going to win. And the same way with this team, if Carter doesn't play well, we still got a great chance to win. Billy didn't do much the other night, we still won. Nick Pringle didn't hardly do anything the other night, we still won the game.
That's correct.
And so we've got a lot of depth. Somebody else is always there. Malik Euan has a great game. Carter has a great second half, finally, you know. Malik Thomas had a great game. Darius Acuff had a tremendous game. There's just so much talent. They're all not going to play poorly. That's why you're going to win a lot of these games.
And you know, Matt, you were so right. When I was at Arkansas, I wanted Arlen Bowers to mess up so I could get in. So you got that, competition going, and that's a great situation to have. Is one guy wants to get in because he thinks he deserves to play. So you got a
competition within the team.
Got a competition within the team. Yes.
Yeah, and that is so important to have that throughout the season and a little competition for those minutes. But what makes a great team is you still get along, you still help each other, and rising tide lifts all boats. And you have a lot of talent. If Arlen didn't play well and then you went in, but you didn't play well either, there were so many other guys, we were probably still going to win the game.
That's correct.
So that takes the pressure off of you a little bit.
Helps too when you're best player is a team player. Chin Coleman mentioned something about Darius Acuff. They said when Malik was struggling, they were in the gym and they just got done practice, and Malik told Coleman and a few of the graduate assistants that we need when Acuff told those guys that we need Malik to shoot the cover off the ball the next game. I mean, how many guys think about the other guy when they're 18 years old? You think Darius be worried about Darius, and you take care of your own stuff, Malik.
But he's smart. If Malik's get going, it takes some pressure off of him.
Yeah, but what a great kid. To even think. Yes. And it was rare for Coleman, who's been in coaching a long time, to hear someone say that to him, which reflects well on Darius Acuff.
I really like this kid. I tell you, it's sad to say he's only going to be here 1 year.
Yeah, well.
But he's special.
We got a little money, Ernie. We're going to try to get him back.
He's not coming back. I wish he would come back, but hey, he is so good for a kid that's 17 or 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me that a kid is this young, that good. Can you imagine what he's going to be in 3 years from now? Oh, my God. He's amazing.
Well, he continues to get better. I wonder what his ceiling is, Z. I mean, was the ceiling on Saturday, or can he do better than that?
I think that against some of these teams no, that's not his ceiling. He's only going to get better because he's getting more experience. Sully, he's getting more time on the floor. You know, that was only his second time playing in Bud Walton in front of a packed crowd. The first one being Louisville. Nothing phases this guy, whether it's a big crowd or whether it's 5,000 people in there to play Southern. Nothing phases him. His mindset stays the same. But you know what I can't wait to watch him do is dominate like that on the road. He's only had one road game.
Yeah.
And he played well at Michigan State, in his home state. He didn't play like he did Saturday, though. He didn't play like he did in a couple of the other big wins where he's been the dominant force. So now I look forward to seeing him on the road. How does he take that to the road?
You know who I think about going on the road and doing that as a freshman was Scotty Thurman at Missouri. A huge game. Corliss was out, and we weren't expecting Scotty to take that starring role, and he came up with like 30 on the road.
30 on the road.
Z probably remembers the exact number.
Yeah, I think he had 34, and then he had like 29 against Arizona right after that.
Yes.
And Ernie said 17 years old. Scotty was 17 years old when he did that. That was incredible.
Yeah. You know, and you got to say, we'll find out this week, really. You know, you're going to go to Ole Miss, and they're not very good.
Yeah, they're wounded. Chris Baird this is get right week for him. He figures he can turn his whole season around if he beats Arkansas.
So he's going to play us physical. Won't be any easy basket like, you know, I mean, when we get to the rack, they're going to knock the crap out of it. That's Ole Miss, Chris Baird's type of basketball. It's going to be interesting to see how these young guys respond on Wednesday night. I mean, it's going to be very, like Coach Z said, we've been playing at home. We've been playing in neutral site. So now we go into somebody's backyard to play. We'll find out, you know, how those young freshmen are going to respond. But I think they're going to be good wherever they are.
You know, you talk about paint touches. I watched one Little Rock practice, and he blew the whistle every time the ball got in the paint. That's how, every time. And he was blowing that whistle, they were going to keep that ball out of the paint.
That's correct.
I mean, and this team is obviously, and you mentioned it in our KATV section there, that he's frustrated beyond belief right now.
Yeah, I went and listened to parts of like his last 3 press conferences. Of course, he had the one that I listened to in entirety back like in December when he had A.J. Storr up there, and they lost. They weren't playing well, and the question with the Storr was, how do you get better? How does this team get better? And he said, you know, he was saying different things, and Coach Beard said, we got to play harder. And I'm going to put the guys out there that'll play hard. We're going to change this. You don't usually hear him having to talk about his team playing harder.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a couple of the recent press conferences this morning, and he was still harping on effort and energy and making second and third and fourth efforts to make plays. And he's not been happy with this team. He's got a pretty new team.
Right.
They beat us twice last year, once in the Bud, once in Nashville in the conference tournament. The great little guard, Padilla, he's gone. He was outstanding. He hit the game winner against us in Nashville. He's gone. He's out of eligibility. You know, Brakefield, all these really good players that they had they're out of Ole Miss's program now, and he's had to rely on transfers, and some of them probably hadn't played up to what they needed them to play, and but that don't mean that they can't play a tremendous game and win on Wednesday night. They're going to be the home team. They're going to be motivated. I've already looked. Their students aren't back. They've been losing, so there's probably the students aren't going to come back early for that game unless they want to watch the Razorbacks play. And so you're going to have a chance to play in an arena that's not going to be packed. It'll be a good crowd. I mean, it should be. It's their home opener. But 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, also they play in an important football game. And so you know where all the money people are, Sully.
Yeah.
They're in, I don't know where that bowl game is, but that's where they're at.
But that's where they are. You're exactly right.
That's where they are. So hopefully we can catch it and catch them at the right time and beat Ole Miss. If we're going to win the league, these are the kind of games you need to go on the road and beat.
This is what I call a trap game. It's a game you're supposed to win. You're supposed to beat Ole Miss. But I was listening to Chris Beard. He is on A.J. Story. He said, where's the A.J. Story that played at St. John? He didn't do much at Kansas. He went to Wisconsin, had a good year. I watched him on the bench the other day. He was just laughing. He played 2 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. You know, Chris Beard is a guy, you're going to play harder if you don't play.
What I like about this team, too, in most every game, they've been able to impose their will. I mean, even Saturday, they scored 86 points against Tennessee, and Tennessee's not a team that likes to give up that many points.
No.
Houston is not used to running up and down the floor with teams.
No.
Now, they hit all the shots, but they played us, I forget the final there, but it was a
94-85.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
I mean, but there's been, outside of Michigan State, that's been the only team that's really controlled the tempo.
I was just going to say. And you got to give Cal credit. I love what he does. He pushes all the right buttons. He gave Nolan a shout-out.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's amazing to me. You know, even though coaches...
He's been very respectful to Nolan and the history of the program.
Yes.
And he's a different Cal. This isn't the Cal that we hated at Kentucky.
No.
It was at UMass. It was at Memphis that everybody, the slimy guy that everybody hated. He's the Hall of Fame coach on his last lap here at Arkansas.
But what's amazing, I saw where his wife tweeted, she thanked Arkansas for basically like giving him another chance. He's had life again.
Yeah.
You know, and that's amazing to me, you know, that I think he has some fire in his belly.
Well, most older coaches don't get to take the second lap. You know, it usually doesn't, like, you know, Bill Belichick, ask him what's going on in North Carolina. But it's tough to come back when you kind of faded at Kentucky. You weren't winning the postseason games. You were losing games you weren't supposed to lose. And bang, you're rejuvenated at Arkansas. You make the run in the NCAA tournament. Now you're loaded. This is like he even said, this is like one of my old teams that I can get on at Kentucky. So I think he's getting the feeling that this is like one of his vintage Kentucky teams, that they should win games, they should compete for a conference title, and they should go be a high seed in the NCAA tourney.
I really like what he does with his kids. He gets on them, but he right back down there picking them up. I like that. You know, he gets on them, but the next time you look around, he's in that guy's face. He's picking him back up.
Yeah, I think guys like Brazil and Knox, you got to keep telling them how good they can be. And I think he's getting the best out of both of those guys.
My God. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Knox is one he's really been on since mid-December. He's when he's talking about the expectations. So have you heard him talk about guys managing expectations? He's mostly talking to Carter.
Yeah.
And he has felt like that Carter came out of the draft and he expected to have this incredible, great season with no bumps in the road. Well, you're still a college player, and there's still a lot of other pretty good college players out there. They're not all going to get out of your way just because you declared for the draft last year. They're not all going to move out of your way and go let you be the SEC Player of the Year. Not happening. The SEC Player of the Year is probably playing on your team, and he's a freshman. And so you have to learn to play as a team and be an integral part of the success. And I think in the second half the other day, in the game against Louisville, we saw it. We saw it against Texas Tech in Dallas. Carter can still be a dominant, great, impactful player. But he's also got to settle down a little bit. There's times he drives in and kind of takes wild shots.
Yeah.
There's times he's had a little turnover prone. There's been times that he's made a mistake and he's dropped his head, and the other guys are scrambling around trying to make up. And so I think that they're continuing to stay on to Carter because they know that for us to make a deep run in March and in the NCAA tournament, the conference race, we're going to need Carter to be a very, very good player, because not very many people, especially in this league, have these 6'7" guys that are that strong with that kind of athleticism who can also hit threes. Carter's a very talented player.
How about SEC Nick? They spent last week, Chin Coleman says, just building him up at practice, Nick Pringle, because he tore up Tennessee at South Carolina, and they were calling him SEC Nick. SEC Nick. And then you get the game, and SEC Nick got in early foul trouble, was never a factor. I think he's got to be a factor for this team with his size and his strength.
I said it earlier 2 or 3 weeks ago. Our bigs have got to have at least 28 points, 12 or 13 rebounds. Pringle, I don't know what is he learning the offense. He just looked to me like he's lost in this group. He picks up, I call cheap fouls. Just save those fouls and go after the ball. If we can get him going and have 3 bigs going, this team can be really dangerous. And I watched him last year, I think at South Carolina. I watched him in the tournament, and he was not a factor. And when we signed him, I was shocked because I didn't think he didn't show me nothing in the tournament and in the SEC tournament, but he did play good in the regular season. But I just wish he would go back and watch how he played in the regular season.
Yeah, he's SEC Nick.
He's been around everywhere.
And I look back to the Alabama days for him where he had Mark Sears and he had some great guards, right? And he was a good run the floor, get some layups and dunks and transition, lob plays, let the guards drive it, dump it down to you or lob it to you. He's a great athlete. Go catch it and dunk it using his athletics ability. He was a poor free throw shooter at Alabama, but he played good defense. He was very aggressive, and he would dunk the heck out of all them lobs. And at South Carolina, he didn't have very good guards. No offense to them. They were the worst team in our league. And their biggest win all year was against us on a Saturday, and we played poorly. And he took the fight to us. But there, he was dunking. He was athletic. He was playing above the rim. He had a ferociousness about him. Maybe he already knew I may be playing at Arkansas next year. You never know. And he played so well. But you're right. And we play him 10 days later in Nashville. He didn't. He was a non-factor. But they had a bad team. And so I think Nick is a guy that I like the role he's in. I like the role all 8 of them are in. He can start. There's going to be times he helps you, like against Winthrop.
Yeah.
Right.
There's going to be games he helps you win. And like the Ole Miss game should be one of those games. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
He's played at Ole Miss like 6 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
He's those guys
6 times he's
that
played at Ole
Cal
Miss.
talks about.
Yeah. And so
6
those older
times.
guys like him, Malik Euan, DJ Wagner, Trevin Brazil, those are old timers. Hey, you tell Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, Isaiah Sealy, who's a ninth man, we're going on the road here, man. You're going to play great, young fella. You follow my lead. I'm an old timer.
Yeah.
I've played at Ole Miss 5 times. We're going to go in here and beat these guys. And I think that'll help. And I love him, though, that we're not counting on Nick to get 10 and 10 on us.
That's
It'd be
correct.
nice if he could do that.
Just to help, contribute.
Now, we need more than, some of those games he's had where he's had 2 points and 1 rebound.
Yeah.
We need more than that if we're going to start.
That's what he had the other day.
But the best player in that post game comes off the bench, and that's Malik Euan.
Correct.
He's the better of the 2 players. He just does more things, and so he's going to play most of the minutes. And I love the fact he brings him off the bench because Malik's not the greatest practice player in the world. Nick Pringle's a better practice player.
Yeah.
He brings it. Malik's got a little Todd Day in him.
He don't do nothing till the lights come on.
Hey, talk quickly about Malik Euan, and the light has come on the last couple of weeks. I mean, he after flunking the free throw line test a few weeks ago, he got to the line Saturday and I think it was 8 for 8. And he's a guy that's long, he's athletic, and he's got a little edge to him. And we've seen it the last couple of weeks.
Cal said it in Little Rock. He pulled out his tape when he was at Florida State.
Yeah.
He said, that's the Malik Euan I'm looking for. And guess what? He has showed up.
I think those 4 blocks came all in the second half, or 3 of the 4 came in the second
I
half.
think they were all on Brown.
Yeah.
And, he blocked great shots. He changed shots. He's a good defensive player. He's an athlete now. This guy's an athlete too. He doesn't get the attention of an athlete that Darius and Trevin Brazil and Billy Richmond are these great athletic guys. But he is very, very athletic himself.
He is.
He can run and he can jump. and he can skill. And we still hadn't seen we've seen a couple of his little flip shots and his little reverse layups. We've seen like 3 high difficulty shots. One of them was against Houston, one of them was against Texas Tech. But I'm telling you, you see it every day in practice. He's making a little fake, step this way, throw it over his head off the glass. He is a super skilled player. It was so good to see him go 8 for 8 at the line. He's a good foul shooter. Even in the Houston game, as bad as it felt like he cost us, at the end of the game, he was 10 of 17. He made 10 of them.
Yeah.
And so he's a guy that's going to continue to get better as this season goes. I think Cal, like Ernie was kind of saying, I think Cal knows how to coach him.
Oh, yes.
And finally, jump ball for you guys. We're sitting 1-0 in conference. What's a number at the end of the year you'll be happy with?
I want us to win 12 conference games. I think we can.
12 and 6.
12 and 6.
I think Z is probably going up to 14. What do you think?
Yeah, 14 and 4 will win the league for sure. 13 and 5 might tie it. There has been years that Alabama or Auburn's won it going 15 and 3 or 16 and 2, but this year there's not any great teams above Arkansas. To me, it's Arkansas and Alabama. Let's see what happens to Georgia. Let's see what happens to Vanderbilt. It looks like Auburn and Tennessee can sure beat you, but they're maybe just a step down. And then there's a lot of teams that have not found their way. Texas, LSU didn't play anybody non-conference. They lose their first game at A&M. Missouri has not been good, and then they beat Florida. Right. Florida has not been good so far. There's a lot of questions in this conference about a lot of these teams. It's not going to be a 14-team league this year. It's just not. They didn't do well enough in the non-conference to get 14 in.
But your stat on how many games they lost out of conference this year compared to last year?
Yes, so last year, one of the greatest seasons in SEC basketball history, 16 teams, 23 losses.
Crazy.
That's pretty impressive. We had 2 of those. Impressive. This year, 16 teams, 50 losses.
Is that crazy?
23 losses last year, 50 losses last year. That's the difference. And I do think a couple of these teams scheduled better.
Yeah.
But not to that degree. Not from 23 losses to 50 losses. This league is not as good. The coaches at some of the schools did not recruit as well as they did for last year. And they don't have as good of teams.
Little housekeeping. What's that team up over your right shoulder? The picture over your right shoulder.
That's my team.
That right there, this right here, 88-89, okay. This right here got Ernie Murry on it. This is the Final Four team.
Wow,
this is Final
love
Four
that.
Team. Hey, it's an incredible group of guys right here. There's Ernie Murry, and the reason he's in street clothes, we brought him in, came in as a preferred walk-on, a recruited walk-on. We didn't have a uniform quite ready. He was still having to earn his way with Coach Richardson. He took the pictures like in October. If this would have been taken in March, Ernie Murry would have been sitting beside.
Hey, good for you, Ernie. you earned a uniform.
I earned a uniform.
You dang right. Hey, look at this real quick. I mean, you got Warren Lynn, Cannon Whitney, Arlen Bowers, the late, great Ron Hury, Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Antonio Dennis. You got Roosevelt Wallace in street clothes.
Wow.
You got Clyde Fletcher, Daryl Hawkins, the late Larry Marks, Sean Davis, Mario Credit, the late, great Oliver Miller.
What a great team.
You got Michael Hogue. You got the late, great Lindsey Howe.
Wow.
Lonnie Jordan. How about that?
Jordan.
Hey, Cal would never have a team like that because he only wants like 8 or 9 players.
No.
He wants those last 4 you never see.
Last 4 you never. They're cheerleaders.
I enjoyed that.
Hey, Sully.
Yeah.
Say, Sully, the only ones he'd have taken would have been Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Oliver Miller. He wanted them shining stars.
Yeah, if you weren't a McDonald All-American, he wouldn't even take you.
All right.
That is really good.
Hey, appreciate you guys. A lot of fun. And Z, enjoy your trip on the road this week. You go 2 road trips, and hopefully you'll come back with a couple of wins.
Thank you. Driving to Ole Miss, not the team, but me personally.
Yeah.
But we will get to fly to Auburn. So would love to go 2-0 this week, man. It'd be huge.
Yeah.
I may see you Wednesday night.
Okay, let me know. I'll look for you.
I may see you Wednesday night.
Appreciate you guys. Great job today.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hog Central Podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Hog Central Podcast. New episodes drop Tuesday on YouTube or listen on the go. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and every major podcast platform.